Never let a serious crisis go to waste. Never let a serious financial crisis go to waste. This is probably once in a lifetime where us little people can make the most of a system that is collapsing and being rebuilt to become wealthy, to become rich, and to improve our lifestyle. This is what happens probably once in a lifetime when Uranus moves through the constellation sign of Taurus. And that's what this third video is about, is the financial collapse of the United States. It is a global collapse, but we don't have enough time to cover the entire world. So we're just sticking with the United States for now. But this is a financial collapse. We're calling it a Wuhan virus lockdown, but it is in fact an economic collapse. And it's being implemented in probably the gentlest way that the current administration knows how. Unlike the 2008 meltdown, what did the administration do for us then? Tell me, what did they do? Did they take care of us little people? No. But we're being taken care of now. But anyway, this is what it looks like when when the planet Uranus moves to the constellation sign Taurus. So that's what this third video is about. Hi, I'm JJ from Paranormal Talks, paranormaltalks.com. We are an educational organization. We fill the educational gap that is left by our government public schools and universities. It's an area about us as powerful spiritual beings that these governments, educational facilities do not want to touch, but we're here to fill that gap. So we're Paranormal Talks. If you want to know more about me, just go to About Us, scroll down, and you can read about me. There you go. Now, this is the bad boy we are talking about. This is the planet Uranus. In the first video of this series, I give a lot of background and foundational info for what we're talking about in this series of videos. I talk about the planet Uranus more and about the constellation Taurus. I don't want to go through it all again, but here is what the symbol looks like. It's a circle, a dot in the middle with an arrow pointing, shooting up from the middle of it. Now, the planet Uranus, this is the planet of sudden, radical changes. Destruction, actually. It does destroy the old, the status quo, in order to make way for the new. We really can't have a new system, a better system, unless this old system is scraped, is destroyed, so we have a clean, open field to build something new. Sorry, we can't fix this current system. Can't fix it, and we can't go back to normal. So this is the planet Uranus. Now, it is in the constellation sign Taurus. I talked about that too. Taurus is the sign of the banker. You know, there are 12 astrological signs. Well, Taurus is the sign of the banker, of the financier, of all things that are of the earth that make us wealthy. So Uranus, the planet of sudden, radical, absolute change and destruction, is moving through the sign of the banker. So this is impacting the global banks and those royal families and other hidden elites who control those banks. Let's look at some of the articles in regards to that. This is what it looks like. There's some good stuff and some bad stuff. Actually, it's all good in the end, because I know how we don't like change. I mean, we really don't like change, but you can believe in this change. Change you can believe in is when Uranus moves through the sign of the banker. Corona sporting events tracker, the latest on the Olympics, Champion League, and Wimbledon postponement. This is hugely impacting the bankers as well, not only sports, which falls under the entertainment area. The banks are just getting crushed every which way. All of these videos and these articles that are proving this sea change is impacting mostly the banks, and then secondly, the governments, and then next, real estate, because we use quite a bit of real estate for all of these activities. So we're shutting down the sports. So these big stadiums, look at this. Who's going to pay the mortgage on this when there's no event going on? There's no ticket sales. What happens to the mortgage payments? We're back to the banks. We're also back to the real estate. Let's go down. The corona has impacted concerts, parades, and other events. Companies are already laying off employees because of the pandemic. Here's a look at the effect of the major sports properties around the world. And there's a list of all these sports: baseball, basketball, football, soccer, NHL, NBL, NFL, NCAA, MSL. I mean, golf. Oh my goodness. Even golf, it's outdoors. And still, it's being shut down. Now, this article was written March 12th of 2020. Okay, so it's hitting banks and real estate big time. So speaking of real estate, is commercial real estate in trouble? Well, yes, actually it is. Now, this is an article from the Armstrong Economics, armstrongeconomics.com. This is the firm that developed the Socrates quantum computer system. This is another video I created, a predictive video. This quantum computer, it has a 90 to 100% accuracy in its prediction, its trends. It predicts financial trends, political trends, business trends, even sporting trends. And it has showing that the sporting industry has been going down, 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 down for the last 8 years, actually. So yes, we have a massive economic collapse. Let's see what Martin Armstrong has to say to this question. Let's just read the answer because that's the meat of it. Yes, commercial real estate is crashing. Again, it's 90 to 100% accurate. This may be an area of unexpected consequences. If they, which means the government, if they keep raising taxes on businesses, the government, will simply convert, which is the businesses, will simply convert employees to contracted independence. Contracted independence is not a full-time employee with all the benefits that a full-time employee gets, 401k, medical, health plans, holiday pay, vacation pay, sick pay, maternity. Contracted independents get zero of any of those. They get paid for whatever hours they work. They get paid. They work 1 hour, they get paid 1 hour. They work 8 hours, they get paid 8 hours. If they get sick, they're out of luck. If they need to take a vacation, they're out of luck. If they're sick, they're out of luck. So anyway, companies have been moving in that direction very, very seriously in the last several decades. So that will eliminate the employer matching taxes, which government requires. These people have not realized the damage they have done to the economy, the government people. This is not going to be back to normal. Many small businesses that were finding it hard to compete with online businesses will not reopen. We do see a sharp spike, a low spike, a downward spike trend during the second quarter of 2020. So that's April, May, June. Surprise, surprise. That has been our target and initial low since our forecast back in 2015. We will be looking at updating our real estate forecast given the recent events. It's a good site. Check it out. Next, more real estate. Here comes the next crisis. 30% of all mortgages will default in the biggest wave of delinquencies in history. Now, remember when that happened in 2008? Who took care of us then? Yeah, well, we were out sucking sand, dealing with that ourselves. No one to help us, particularly not the current administration in 2008. Okay, borrowers who lost income from the virus, which is already a skyrocketing number, as the 10 million new jobless claims in the past 2 weeks attest. 2 weeks attest, can ask to skip payments for as many as 180 days at a time on federally backed mortgages and avoid penalties and a hit to their credit scores. But as Bloomberg notes, it's not a payment holiday, and eventually homeowners, they'll have to make it all up. Yeah, that's the sucky part. But remember, in 2007, 2008, during the mortgage crisis, who took care of us then? We were simply out on the street and homeless, with the banks confiscating our homes right out from under us. But this financial meltdown, this official financial meltdown, which began officially in May of 2018, the banks are working with us this time. My, what a big change, huh? That is due to the current administration, the Trump administration. So that's more real estate. And then I want to play for you a little bit here from the X22 report. Dave, he does an excellent job and we love him. And let's hear some of his take on this. We're going to stop sharing. We're going to do this so I can turn on the sound. And I'll go on mute.
Gone, and they keep it. Now, if Trump is using the central bank, using the fiat currency to build the infrastructure, using the stimulus money to help the people, in the end, what can he do? He can show that the Federal Reserve and other central banks, because the Federal Reserve helped other central banks, they were not benefiting the people. It's a criminal enterprise. And he can say, you know something, since this is a criminal enterprise for many, many years, we're not going to pay off this debt. There's no reason to. This was criminal. And remember, where do they get these funds? From thin air. And also, we need to remember, he's in the process of nationalizing the Fed. And all of this is going to benefit him. It's going to benefit the people. Now, Steve Mnuchin, he is letting everyone know that the American people will be receiving their cash deposits in their accounts in about 2 weeks, on schedule from the passing of the Phase 3 stimulus last week. So it looks like everything is on schedule. And Trump and the Patriots, what they're doing is they are maneuvering and pushing this economy into a new system, which they have been building. And he's using this opportunity to do a lot more. And I do believe what's coming up, this is going to be a very big turn, because he's going to start to force companies to do certain things, especially when this event ends. I think he's going to look at the economy and say, okay, we need to do a lot more to get everything back up and running. And this is when he's going to talk to the companies. Right now, he's busy dealing with the ongoing event. And I think once the event is over, he's going to switch gears and he's going to start telling companies what they need to do. You need to open a plant over here. You need to come back to the U.S. You need to do this. Why? Because we need to get back on our feet. He's in complete control of this situation. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening.
Okay, so what do you think? I'm going to stop sharing. Turn this off. Yeah. So this is what a financial crisis looks like. You know, people who are aware, who are conscious and aware of these planetary movements and how they have a cycle and impacting masses of people, whether we like it or not, whether we acknowledge it or not, doesn't matter, it happens. It can really be leveraged. We know it's coming. We see it's coming. We can prepare many, many years in advance for these types of changes. First of all, by looking at history, what happened before, and then being prepared materially, and then psychologically and emotionally. So this is the third video of the financial collapse of the United States, shown by transiting Uranus, moving through the sign Taurus, the sign of the banker. So stay tuned for the following videos, video number 4, etc. Thank you much. Love your comments. Talk to you later. From Paranormal Talks, talk later. Bye.